making his way over the splintered skin of the globe. Then he dropped with a jarring thud onto the mound of earth the ship had pushed before it during its downward slide. Limply he tumbled on in a small cascade of clods and sand, hitting a less movable rock with enough force to land him on his back and stun him again. The second and smaller moon of Topaz swung brightly through the sky, its greenish light making the blood-smeared face of the explorer an alien mask. It had passed well on to the horizon, and its large yellow companion had risen, when yapping broke the small sounds of the night. As the yip, yip, yip arose in a crescendo, the man stirred, putting one hand to his head. His eyes opened, he looked vaguely about him and sat up. Behind him was the torn and ripped ship, but he did not look back at it. Instead, he got to his feet and staggered out into the moonlight. Inside his brain there was a whirl of thoughts, memories, emotions. Perhaps Ruthven or one of his assistants could have sorted that chaotic mixture. But for all practical purposes, Travis Fox, a Mera-Indian time agent, member of Team A, Operation Cochise, was far less of a thinking animal now than the two coyotes paying their ritual addresses to a moon which was not the one of their vanished homeland. Travis wavered on, drawn somehow by that howling. It was familiar, a thread of something real through all the broken clutter in his head. He stumbled, fell, crawled up again, but he kept on. Above, the female coyote lowered her head, drew a test sniff of a new scent. She recognized as part of the proper way of life. She yapped once at her mate, but he was absorbed in his night song. His muzzle pointed moonward as he voiced a fine wailing. Travis tripped, pitched forward on his hands and knees, and felt the jar assisted landing shoot up his stiffened forearms. He tried to get up, but his body only twisted, so he landed on his back and lay looking up at the moon. A strong, familiar odor, then a shadow loomed above him, hot breath against his cheek, and the swift sweep of an animal tongue on his face. He flung up his hand, ripped thick fur, and held on, as if he had found one anchor of sanity in a world gone completely mad. This concludes the reading of Chapter 2.